Next, they say they feel scared to live in the city they were born in. That's the view of some Londoners we've spoken to after being attacked for being Jewish. In fact, anti-Semitic incidents have now risen to the highest level in decades, according to the charity that logs them. What's more, it also includes Jewish children experiencing abuse online. Lynn has been investigating.
Cars draped in Palestinian flags in the wake of a surge of violence in the Middle East. Anti-Semitic abuse is shouted from a megaphone at London's Jews. So offensive, we can't play the sound.
That convoy took place near here in St John's Wood, one of London's key Jewish communities, and highlighted something that London's Jews have always known. Whenever there's an increase in violence in Israel and Palestine, out of the shadows here in the capital comes blatant and shocking anti-Semitism.
They basically essentially lunged towards us to confront us.
I got hit a couple of times in the head. They basically focused on the point we were Jewish. We looked visibly Jewish. They used some racial slurs describing us as Jews.
These two were having a walk after leaving a kosher restaurant. Two men followed them, screaming anti-Semitic abuse and then violently attacking them.
I've lived in this country more or less my whole life. I've had the odd incident here or there, but nothing like this. That the visceral hatred and the aggression that you see from some people, it's just like basically out of control.
It's terrifying. I've walked around London dressed as an Orthodox Jew for years and never had any issues, but something feels different at the moment. There's a wave of anti-Semitism, and it's not just me that's feeling vulnerable. Most Jews that I know suddenly feel unsafe in a country that we've lived in our entire lives. It really is harrowing.
The Metropolitan Police are investigating that attack, as new figures show anti-Semitic incidents sharply rose last month and hit the highest recorded to date by a Jewish charity that's been logging abuse since 1984.
We've seen roughly a 4 or 5 times increase in the number of anti-Semitic incidents being reported into us from across the Jewish community. This has included a whole range of incidents, some of them sadly including violence. It's just racism directed towards Jewish people who are picked out on the streets or on the internet just because they're Jewish.
And no one seems to be immune. This well-known 97-year-old survivor of Auschwitz, Lily Ebert, it's reported, has received hate-filled anti-Semitic messages online in the last few weeks, which her family say won't stop her educating others about the Holocaust. And Jewish children have also been trolled.
Hitler was a wise man who already recognised Jews and treat them accordingly. Time is near again.
Chloe and Ben have been seeing Hitler-linked abuse on social media.
I've seen people, like Chloe said, bring back the Holocaust, Hitler was right. Just horrible thing that no one should really be seeing.
It's just upsetting because you don't deserve it, obviously, and it's just not nice to read from your friends that you know and people that you know post their stuff on Instagram and share it because they agree with it.
Just shock, really. I mean, you hear what the footballers get, the racism that footballers get and everything, but I've never really seen anti-Semitism like this before in my lifetime.
And politicians and community leaders are growing increasingly concerned about rising anti-Semitism, with the police saying Londoners like these should be able to live free from harassment or abuse. Lynn, BBC London.